I'm Amelie and welcome once again to my channel. Today I'm going to be watching Dao Zu Shi episodes 3 and 4 from the third season. And guys, I am so looking forward to this because I am enjoying season 3 so much. And I've not only seen 2 episodes, so calm down, Amelie, but I really liking what I've seen so far. Even though we started with a part of the story that I'm not a huge fan of, which is the ECT arc, and I know there's some people who love the ECT arc. I don't get it. Because I just don't like suffering. I like suffering a little bit, like suffering in moderation and then, being happy. Just ECT arc makes me angry. It makes me sad. It makes me want to punch some people. So I don't know. Personally, it's not one of my favorite parts of the story. Although I don't understand that some people love it, and that's fair enough. To each their own. Not my cup of tea, personally. So I am surprised that I'm enjoying it as much as I am enjoying it. However, to be fair, we haven't gotten to the flashback yet. Like, we have a little bit of the flashback at the end of the last episode, but we haven't gotten into the juicy part of the flashback. So. And that is the worst part of the ECT arc. That and what comes after is, the worst parts of it. So, we'll see how I feel after this episode. The good thing about the animation is that things happen pretty fast. Like, they don't stay long, because in the Untamed, the ECT arc flashback was like a whole episode or something like that. So, or that is what I remember. I'm going to be honest. I usually skip the ECT arc when I rewatch it. So that's what I think it is. I think it's about an episode, something like that. In this one, I hope that because the show doesn't have that much time, they do it a little bit quicker. So I can suffer quickly and then continue enjoying the show. But the thing that I like about season 3 so far is that the story seems to follow a story that I'm familiar with, like, not exactly the same way as I know, like, from the Untamed. There is a lot of changes. Obviously, I think this one is a lot closer to the original, so it's not like there are changes, there is differences from the Untamed. But it seems to hit all of the events that I expected to hit. And to me, that just makes it easy to follow, because I am old, and if you change the story too much, I'm going to get confused. So far, I'm really enjoying that. I'm enjoying seeing a story that I'm more or less familiar with, because that also makes me very interested in the differences, how it changes, especially now that we are in the ECT arc. Because in the Untamed, we get introduced to Song Lang, to Xiaoxing Shen, and to Yue Yang pretty early in the story. And I think that is an Untamed only thing. I don't think that happens in the novel and in this. So I am curious how they're going to deal with that here in the Donghua. Obviously, we have been having mentions, and I think short flashbacks to about. I think Xiaoxing Shen, or was it Song Lang? I don't remember anymore. I have such a shit memory lately. And I think we also have mentions of Yue Yang, I think. Oh God, the other day I was thinking about this show, and I was thinking that, that when Lan Wangji takes Wei Wuxian to Cloud Recesses after his resurrection, Wei Wuxian was pretending to be Mo Xuanyu. I don't remember when that stopped. Like, at some point, I feel like it must have happened. I just don't remember when. I don't remember when, if there was a moment in which Wei Wuxian realized that Lan Wangji knew who he was. I'm sure it happened. I have to rewatch this. I have to rewatch season 1. I suspect that it maybe happened there. But it must have happened at some point. I just don't remember. I just no memory of that happening. So my memory lately has just been shit. That's what happened. But still, it is what it is. I try to remember some things. But so far I've been really enjoying season 3. The other thing that I'm really enjoying about this is the relationship between Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji. I love how close they are in this. And I suspect, correct me if I'm wrong, but that maybe censorship is a lot more strict when it comes to live action shows than what it is for animation, because definitely there is a lot of things, like there is a lot of more physical closeness between them. There is a lot more contact and touching between them. I feel like the relationship is a lot more flirtatious than it was in The Untamed. So I suspect maybe it's because of that, perhaps because censorship maybe is a little bit lax when it comes to animation. I don't know, but I'm really enjoying it. Although it's very different to what I expect. I think both in The Untamed and in this, after Wei Wuxian comes back from the death, I think there is a change in the way Lan Wangji behaves towards him, in the sense that, he's closer to him, he's maybe a little bit more open to him, more open about how much he wants to protect him, how much he wants to be by his side. And, in The Untamed, we have that, but it's still a little bit more subtle, mostly because Wang Yi's performance is blank face 90% of the time, which I actually love. I love that. I love the fact that we have so much nothing from Lan Wangji, but when we have it, it's like, just having someone, just hit you in the head with a hammer. That is what happens. Whenever you see concern or you see a smile from Lan Wangji in The Untamed, it just hits differently. In this one, I feel Lan Wangji is in general just more open with his emotions, which is fine. I think somebody had commented on that as well. To me, it doesn't bother me, but definitely I appreciated. I liked it in The Untamed when she was just blank face and, reacted occasionally. This one is fine as well. Obviously, whatever I can get from Lan Wangji and Wei Wuxian, I'm going to happily accept. I'm just happy to be here to see it. So I'm not going to complain. But I do notice that difference between the two. And definitely I like the direction the relationship is taking in this. And hopefully is, if censorship is indeed a lot lax when it comes to this than what is for live action, I hope that means that maybe the ending for this is going to be a little bit happier than, not that it was unhappy in The Untamed, but less ambiguous, let's put it like that. So I'm looking forward to see it. I'm looking forward to continue watching this. And today I'm actually going to watch not only episodes 3 and 4, I'm also going to watch episodes 4 and 5, but you're only getting those episodes next Friday. I'm just recording everything now because next week I'm going to be on holiday with my friends. So that's just what happens. I'm also realizing how interesting it is, the different versions of The Untamed that we have in each of the adaptations. Obviously, I haven't gotten that far from, in the novel. I've just scratched the surface of the novel. I think I'm in the 4th or 5th arc. No, I think I'm in the 4th arc, so not very further away. And this one I'm also not finishing. Obviously, with The Untamed, look, I have a lot of time lately. I think I mentioned before, I'm on a break for work, and it's like 1 month and a half, which at the beginning, it seems fantastic. It seems, I'm going to spend the whole time resting. But I don't know if you notice this about me, but during the year, I work a lot. I spend most of my time working. So having free time is something that it's a little bit alien to me. So you reach a point, I've reached a point when I just realize that I don't have anything to do, and I just need things to do because I've already cleaned the house, I already organized everything here, I already fixed what I had to fix, I already did everything that I wanted to do, and I have rested already. I feel like I've rested. I'm very well rested to start next year, so now I need things to do. And that's what I appreciate, having this to do. And I usually don't think that because I usually have so much work during the year that I find doing these reactions, a chore to me is completely the opposite. These reactions, to me, they are a hobby. To me, doing this is something that I enjoy. To me, it's a break from work. I wouldn't call myself a workaholic, because I feel like workaholic is maybe, a little bit too strong of a word. But I do have a tendency of working a lot and not stopping. And I feel like having this to do during the year is something that, for my own, mental health, is something that has worked a lot, because it's something that forces me to stop working. And definitely, I don't see this as work. Let me just tell you. So it's something that forces me to stop work and do something that I enjoy. So I am grateful that I have that during the year. And I am grateful that I have this now, because I don't have anything to do. But and in addition to doing these reactions, I'm also rewatching I'm actually not rewatching the Untamed. I'm watching reactions to the Untamed from other people on YouTube, and I've been, interested in seeing all of the things that I missed. Obviously, I have rewatched the show on my own already. Now I'm just rewatching it with other people, essentially, and and if any reactions, if you have any reactions from anybody to recommend, send them my way, so I can spend some time. I also have the problem that sometimes if I'm just watching, especially it's a show that I already watch, sometimes just watching the show isn't enough. I need to be doing something while I'm watching. And the problem with this is that because I don't know Chinese, I have to be watching the screen all of the time, or at least most of the time. So it's not like I can start doing things around the house and just have the Untamed in the background. So watching it with reactions or watching it with other people is something that I really enjoy, because it makes it a little bit, I don't know how to explain it, a little bit more active rather than just watching the story that I already know. So I've been rewatching, The Untamed for these reactions. I've been reading the novel. I've been, obviously watching this, which is what I'm supposed to do now rather than talking, but there we are. So I really appreciate how different the each canon version of the story is. And I think, it gives so much possibilities for fans to choose the story that they like. And you say, I prefer the Untamed canon, or I prefer the novel canon. And I think it's great. I think some people are maybe more purist in that sense, that they consider only the novel canon and anything else are deviations from it. But I think that each adaptation creates its own canon, obviously always derivative from the original. So I don't know. It is interesting. It's interesting. I'm happy that I have this to do during all of the time, all my free time that I have now. I'm also writing fan fiction for the Untamed, which I didn't expect, but it happened, and I'm doing it very slowly, because I am the slowest writer in the world, because obviously I just I don't know what it is. I just write a phrase and then I start doing something else. I am very slow, but I'm doing it. And again, I'm very grateful that I have all this to do during this time, especially nowadays, because my problems with my summer break is that, on the one hand, a lot of my friends are not teachers, so that means that they don't have a break, they're still working. So from Monday to Friday, it means that I just, we can't see each other and all of that. But even if we could, nowadays in Argentina, there are just so many cases of COVID. There's just so bad. To be fair, it's not as bad as it was like in 2021, because or even 2020. I think 2020 was probably the worst. It's not as bad as that, because most people here in Argentina are vaccinated, so that means that occupation in hospitals is not too bad, that there's not as many people dying. but still, the sickness is there. And in my case personally, because as I said, next week I'm going on holidays, and before you can imagine, my holidays are not going to be like being on the beach surrounded by people. With my friends, what we do usually is rent a house in the outsides of the city, like house with a swimming pool, and just stay there for a week and hang out and play games and do all those things. So that's essentially my holiday. My holiday is isolating with my friends for a week in a house. But just to be, just in case, what I'm doing is self-isolating the days before. Just in case, especially because I've been sick a few days back, and not COVID, I got tested. It's fine, but just in case I self-isolating, and you can tell because I think I spent how long it is, 16 minutes talking. So you can tell that I'm not been having the kind of social interactions that I usually have. So apparently you have to suffer for that. But that's what I mean to say is I am grateful that I'm doing this. I am grateful that I have this outlet for me, or this hobby. I'm going to be honest, I don't really care that much about views or likes or anything like that. I'm going to continue doing this because I find it fun. And as I said, it's something that, now during the summer it gives me something to do, but when I'm working, it's something that allows me to maybe stop sometimes and do something else, do something that I enjoy. So nothing. I'm just grateful that I could do this. So I'm going to stop talking now. Well, no, I'm not going to stop talking. I'm going to stop talking about this so we can go to the episode. But I'm going to put a warning in the description that this intro is going to be super long for personal reasons, apparently. Okay, let's go to the episode. As I said in the previous episode, we started the flashback where Xiao Xingchen found Shui Yang, and he was with a Qing. So let's go to episode number 3 right now.